So we are going to be taking a second look into the death and the death investigation of Tamla Horsford. For those who don't know, Tamla Horsford was a mother of 5 that died under very suspicious circumstances back in 2018. There have been a lot of concerns involving the competency of this investigation. If there was any foul play done because of the conflicting stories between people that were there, the actions of the sheriff's office, just a lot of things that happened afterward make a lot of people question what really happened. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look back at all this, but I want to start off at the probably one of the most troubling points of the investigation. And this is Dr. Andrew Cooper Minor's handling of this case. So mind you, Tamla Horsford died November 4th, 2018. Her body was then transferred November 6th to the GBI Medical Examiner's Office. On November 7th at 8:20 a.m., this is an email exchange between 2 GBI employees. The previous day, one employee said that, just want to let you know the Forsyth County coroner dropped off some stuff, to be tested for any kind of drugs or whatever. So she responded back was, funny thing, I look at this case this morning and the ME has it listed as an accidental fall from a balcony and advised the coroner they were not going to submit the alcohol bottle for testing. Mind you, this is the very next day that the medical examiner had her body. According to this email that was obtained through open records, her case was open and fucking shut. Because there is no way that you can come to a consensus or a conclusion that this woman died from an accidental fall from a balcony with all the other multiple injuries she has, because it leads me to believe that there was some other sort of outside influence that made this guy come to this conclusion, or this guy is clearly incompetent, because Tamla Horsford had multiple blunt force injuries. You don't get multiple blunt force injuries from a single fall between 10 and 13 feet in the grass. Impossible. She had a fracture in her neck. She had a dislocated and broken wrist with their bones coming out of the skin. She had contusions on her body. She had a lacerated heart ventricle. These are the signs of someone who was either beaten or hit by a fucking truck, because there's no way multiple blunt force injuries is the equivalent of getting beat up at school by 2 or 3 people and having bruising all over your body. So you don't get bruising all over your body from falling in the grass, because if you hypothetically fall from 12 feet and you land on your wrist and your wrist breaks, that means that there's like a 3 to 4, like a 2-foot drop that you're going to take with your head on the ground. Like your neck is not going to fracture after your wrist breaks. That's impossible. There's no way that that's going to happen. Like if she fell from the deck and hit her neck and it fractured, she's not going to have this broken wrist that's dislocated hanging out of the skin. And the second issue with that is that this injury was post-mortem, because there was no blood clotting, there was no blood pool. If you break your wrist to the point where your bone is coming out of your wrist, there will be blood. There was not a trace of blood anywhere in the vicinity. If there was, that either means her body was moved or the crime scene was staged. So which one is it? Was her body moved or was the crime scene staged? The next issue is that In three of the statements, they state that at some point in time that night that Tamla Horsford wanted to leave, she wanted to go home. But she was convinced by them to stay because she had been drinking. And after she was convinced to stay, she volunteered to leave her phone downstairs with the other lady's phone so her phone would not be sleeping alone, even though she was going to be sleeping alone. Let me back up. A grown woman, a 40-year-old woman with 5 children, a grandchild and one on the way, her stepdaughter was pregnant, a husband who is very rarely away from all of her kids, was going to further disconnect herself from them by leaving her phone in the kitchen with the other woman's phone for the entire night. So God forbid if something were to happen to her husband or her kids, she was just going to wait until the morning when she got home to find out. If that is not the biggest pile of dog shit, I don't know what is, because that's bullshit that never happened. Because if everyone was going to bed and she was the only one who was still up and about walking around, I highly doubt she gave her phone up. And the second issue is this picture right here. This is a photo of the living room, and that bag is her bag. So you're telling me that after she agreed to stay, she left her bag right there? Wouldn't it make sense for her to take the bag up to the room that she would have been staying in? Why would she leave the bag right there? The next issue, her shoes. There were no shoes on her person, nor were there any shoes with her bag. Her shoes magically appeared days later in her kitchen after all of this is said and done. So, this is something that I want you to think about. Hypothetically, we live in an age where technology is king. If you're staying over someone's house and everyone's asleep, are you going to play, I don't know, like Candy Rush on your phone until you fall asleep? Or B, are you going to wander around in the dark with no shoes, no phone, no nothing? Damn near in winter, 40 degrees outside. I don't think so. So this is part 1 of the look back at the Tamla Horsford case. There are a lot of issues with this case, and we are going to go through those issues. There is a change.org petition in the bio. Click that, sign that, share that. This case needs more attention. What happened to this woman is heinous. She didn't deserve it. Her kids didn't deserve it. And if we allow this to go unnoticed, it could be us. I have a lot of more videos coming soon. Talk about this case. Let's get justice for Tamla Horsford.